Football season is just around the corner, Nika, and I've been procrastinating here on our football segments because there's been so much baseball and WWE and the trading deadline and SummerSlam that, like, training camp just seemed boring in comparison to that. Yeah. But now actual preseason games are getting played as of last weekend, and, you know, you're starting to see the sun set a little bit earlier in the sky at night and maybe rise a little bit later in the morning.
The fall is coming.
And you just know that football season is going to be here before you know it. And with that will be my beloved Bears making the debut of their new head coach, Ben Johnson. And hopefully, finally, we will have a modernized offense in the city of Chicago.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. We will go from the 1920s to the 2020s.
Oh.
With one coach.
Cool.
But with that comes a lot of work for last year's #1 overall draft pick, Caleb Williams, because he is now in his second year. Instead of building upon everything he learned in season 1, is basically having it all tear down again and starting from scratch with a brand new offensive playbook. Not the most ideal situation to put a rookie in, but it is what it is. I think most Bears fans are happy with the end result of getting the coach that we want. We just hope that these are the right two people to put together to bring a Super Bowl title to Chicago, because that's what it's about at the end of the day. That's why we made the moves we made. That's why we got Caleb Williams in the first place.
Okay.
So having said that, this is all happening, and lo and behold, last week it breaks that Caleb Williams and the starters for the Bears are not going to play in the first preseason game against the Dolphins. And this caused a lot of commotion, I would say, with some of the talking heads about, what do you mean he's not playing? He's got this new offensive system he's learning. Like, he should be out there getting real-time experience with it before the season starts. Don't you think? This was the prevailing thought amongst the establishment talking heads here. Didn't matter if it was local Chicago on the score or if it was national. And I feel like this is like a result of instant gratification culture once again rearing its ugly head, and this is not necessary, you know. And I specifically grabbed this clip from Colin Cowherd about it because I just highly disagree with how he characterizes some of this.
There is no substitute for real live bullets. I get that. But at the same time, when you can accumulate 70 plus reps in a day, that's pretty good. That goes a long way in terms of where you want to go with the connection with the quarterback and his pass catchers.
Yeah, and a lot of other quarterbacks in those inter-squad games, whatever you want to call them, they had 60, 70 snaps too. Bryce Young played. Joe Burrow played. Mahomes played. Spencer Rattler played. Everybody but Tom Brady played this weekend.
Okay.
And he did not. Caleb didn't. And I'm a fan. But there is a certain weight to this quarterback situation. I said it when he got drafted by Chicago. And it has now been reported by me and Seth Wickersham. This was not their first choice.
Pause that. Sorry, I got to call him out 1 second for this.
Okay.
Seth Wickersham reported this in his book.
Oh, God.
Colin Cowherd did not originally report this. This is a fallacy. ESPN.com is who broke this story. We talked about it on our show 3 months ago when it happened.
You can put a link to the video.
We can, but I got to call him out for that. He did not break this story. And the way he just characterized it right there, he makes it seem like he had a hand in it or something. And
maybe he did.
Well, I don't care if he did or didn't, but Seth Wickersham is the one that wrote the book that ESPN I guess used to their advantage because he works for them. And they got an advanced copy of it, and they were like, oh, this is juicy. Can we put an excerpt of this on our website just when we're about to announce the Monday Night Football schedule?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Caleb Williams and the Vikings, which the article or the book excerpt had let slip, was that Caleb wanted to go to the Vikings apparently and work with their head coach, who's an offensive mastermind. And they bonded at the NFL Combine and all this stuff. It was juicy fodder, and it was designed to get Bears fans riled up and be like, oh, Caleb's a traitor.
Of course,
You
that's
know?
what it was.
And then the Chicago media was like, Caleb must answer for this right now while he's trying to learn this damn new offense at the same time.
Maybe he should have been.
Maybe they shouldn't have hounded him so much when the damn book excerpt came out and fell for the low-hanging fruit that it was, because that's all it was. And then hounding him to get behind him, answer for this, answer for what you told this book author 16 months ago. Jesus Christ. So aggravating. Anyways, continue, please, with the cowherd crap.
This is a big, loud, aggressive media. It is a poorly owned franchise with a GM that got an extension based basically on one big trade that got him DJ Moore and draft picks. So I don't know. I look at it and I think to myself, was Ben Johnson actually, could I suggest this, sort of protecting Caleb from the court of public opinion? It was kind of a standalone big TV game. Let Miami and Tua get all the speculation and the heat. We're going to let him, just let him sit and watch this thing. It's not like he couldn't use the snaps.
How do you know?
When tech companies delay the release, okay, it's usually because like you're still in the beta stage, right? You're just not quite comfortable putting it out to the public. And everybody in-house knows it, but you're just like, we're just going to not release our product yet, says Apple. We just want to tighten it. I mean, the product is great. It's going to be revolutionary, but it's just not quite there. I think there's some eggshells here.
Yeah. I don't think there's eggshells here. Like he's saying, he's trying to manufacture drama.
Yes.
And where there is none.
Yes, and also there's few more weeks before the season starts. So let's not jump off the bridge right away and start making assumptions that the product is not good on the field.
Well, let's start with the beginning, what he said about everybody played this weekend except Tom Brady. Well, that's bullshit because Josh Allen didn't play this weekend. Aaron Rodgers didn't play this weekend. Lamar Jackson didn't play this weekend. Sam Darnold didn't play this weekend. Michael Penix Jr. did not play this weekend. Jared Goff did not play this weekend. Dak Prescott, Matt Stafford, CJ Stroud all did not play this weekend. So to say that everyone except for Tom Brady played is just bullshit.
Yeah.
And so
Inaccurate.
sensationalism again for no reason. For no reason other than you have instant gratification that is not being met.
Yep.
Because, I want to see the new Caleb Ben Johnson out there. I want to see what it can do. Look, I saw Caleb Williams make amazing plays in the preseason last year, and none of it mattered because it didn't look like that in the regular season, did it, Nika?
I know.
So who gives a shit anyways?
Not the true fans.
Oh my gosh. So I just had to get that off of my chest a little bit with this. And just to let you know, like even people that are self-described fans, like Colin Cowherd, are like, why don't I get to see this? Stop being so damn impatient. Let the process play out. Mm-hmm. Like I said, this is the same media that's hounding Caleb to come and answer for book quotes when he should be studying his playbook and learning the plays, right?
Oh yeah, let's not take responsibility for what our hand did in this whole mess.
And zero, like looking in the mirror, like, am I a hypocrite? Yes, you are. Let me answer that for you. All right. As far as Ryan Poles getting an extension, because he brought that up, I just want to say I would rather have an organization that has their head coach and their general manager sort of locked up in the same time period than having these like off balance time periods where it's like, oh, well, we're going to fire the GM but keep the coach, or we're going to get rid of the coach and keep the GM. Like, enough with the musical chairs. I'm glad the Bears put a stake in the ground here and said, we're going to ride with these two for a minute. That's it.
Stability.
As far as Ben Johnson protecting Caleb Williams and like not wanting to pull the software beta and put it out there into the world, whatever analogy that was supposed to be. Look, that's his job, okay? Ben Johnson's job is to protect all of his players and first and foremost QB number one, and that is Caleb Williams right now. So if he wasn't protecting Caleb Williams, I would say he's not doing his job very good, Nika. Mm-hmm. I would really say that. So for Colin Cowherd to sort of say like, he kind of twists it into a negative connotation. And I don't think it's a negative thing at all. I think it's a positive thing. I think we saw this when the Seth Wickersham story broke, that Ben Johnson is going to be a guy who is going to confront these things and kind of call out the media when they deserve to be called out. Anyways, Kyle Brandt, who was on Good Morning Football, he had now I'm going to preface this by saying before the preseason game, he declared that Caleb Williams not playing against the Miami Dolphins was fake Christmas. He put this out on social media. He kind of got roasted a little bit for it, but he basically said that because we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for the Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson unveiling, if you will, that because we're not getting it in preseason game number 1, it was kind of like getting fake Christmas, where like you wake up and it feels like Christmas morning, but there's no presents under the tree. Well, you guys just need to relax. And I'm glad. I think Kyle took a chill pill because over the weekend, he kind of had a different explainer. Let's hear what he had to say.
My bottom line with this, to any Bears fan, anybody associated with the Bears, trust Ben Johnson and what he's doing. For years, maybe even decades, there's been whining about we need to get this coach and we got to get this coach. And Ben Johnson was the kind of coach the Bears were just never going to get. It was a surprise. It was a lightning bolt when they got him. So you got the guy you want. You got the kind of guy you want. Don't tell me in the second week of August now, after you finally get him, that you're saying like, yeah, I don't know about this Ben Johnson. Why isn't he playing Caleb in the preseason? Shut your mouth. Be quiet. Be patient. This is the mad genius that you wanted. You got him. Now let him do his mad genius thing. And if that includes keeping Caleb on the sideline, fine. He knows more than us about Caleb and the offense. And if you want to look into it, in the 3 years he spent with Jared Goff in the Lions, Jared Goff spent very little time in the preseason. I think in 3 years he played 1 series in all the preseason games combined. Jared Goff played incredible football. Trust Ben Johnson. You wanted him, you got him. Now don't start complaining about him. Let's all believe that he knows what the hell he's doing and let him do it.
Exactly.
None of this matters until the Vikings game on Monday Night Football anyway. And every team gets to that opening week via a different route, you know?
Those games don't matter.
Even if Ben Johnson is withholding Caleb Williams from the public right now because he doesn't want him to be embarrassed, so be it.
That's his job.
He still has like 4 more weeks to get ready.
Who died and made the public make the decision whether the
social media did.
Social media, the instant
we all have an
gratification.
opinion now. Like, I mean, we have a show,
of course,
but at the same time, you know, we put a lot of work and effort into producing it and trying to make sure that we don't embarrass ourselves, right, and put false information out into the world.
But we're not out there trying to demand, oh, why don't you play Caleb on the first preseason game,
or demanding that he speak for quotes he made 16, 18 months ago.
Exactly. It's just ridiculous.
I appreciated this response from Kyle Brandt, especially after he had called him not playing in the game a fake Christmas the week before. Yeah, he's kind of like calling himself out in a sense here by saying like we all need to be patient and let this thing play out naturally. And that's what's going to happen. And look, it turns out, we're not going to have to wait very long because Ben Johnson had this announcement, Nika.
Our starters are going to play. Everyone's going to play.
What's the value of that?
Well, last week, and really all through camp, I've been pretty consistent with the thought of reps are the most important thing to get him up to speed. And by the plan that we had a week ago, we were able to get him probably somewhere between 80 and 100 more reps than we would have been able to do had he played in the game. This week, it's a different schedule, different length of time in terms of in between games and all that. And so our plan right now is the guys that sat out last week, they will be playing this week.
There you go.
All right. So
what's wrong with this?
Wait no longer, everybody. The Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams beta will be going into alpha, apparently. So Colin Cowherd, you can relax. You're going to get to see the great experiment at work. The Bears, do they finally have an offense? I hope so. But, geez, boy, oh boy, I just want to say it's a breath of fresh air to hear Ben Johnson speak as Bears head coach with so much authority and determination in what he's doing. I feel a lot more comfortable with him at the helm than I have since Lovie Smith. And definitely both different personalities, but commanded the room in different ways, but all the same commanded respect. And So I'm really happy that he's the Bears coach, and I'm not alone, Nika. There's someone else out there who is really, really happy that Ben Johnson is the Chicago Bears head coach, and he had an announcement on Good Morning Football today about that. Let's hear from Seth Freakin Rollins.
Locked in on what he was saying, man. He overloaded Caleb Williams on purpose because he wants to see what he's made of, and that's the kind of coach I need. I want somebody who's going to push my young lion. I want somebody who's going to make him the best version of himself, because I tell you, the best version of Caleb Williams can lead the Chicago Bears to the North Championship and to the Super Bowl.
Talk about it.
They got the people in the place. It's all hinging on this kid. I cannot wait to see what it looks like in Soldier against Buffalo this weekend. I am hyped for Caleb Williams. I'm ready to go, dude.
Way to go, Seth.
I'm ready to go. Just seeing the week last week against the Dolphins, seeing the backups run the Ben Johnson offense and see the speed and the pace coming out of the huddle with 20 seconds left on the play clock. Are you kidding? In Chicago?
Refreshing.
Oh, my goodness. I can't wait to see Caleb operate this offense, man. I want to see efficiency. I want to see him smooth. I want to see him on time.
Couple deep shots.
Yeah,
why not?
Man? Get it up to
Maybe
Rome.
a trick play.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Why not?
See?
You see how excited you're getting?
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
feeding
man.
off of you,
Yes.
Seth. I'm feeding.
I don't know if you noticed on the table there, but the World Heavyweight title is there.
Of course, he's got to carry around.
Of course, you cannot
know.
break characters. Seth Freakin Rollins, the World WWE
Wait,
Heavyweight
is that a character or is that him?
Oh,
I think it's a character.
But he's the one that blurs the line a little bit. I think the character is him.
I think so.
I don't think there is another
Seth Freakin
persona
Rollins.
in there, you know?
It's nice to see the crossover between NFL and WWE.
Oh, it's so refreshing.
always been there,
and it's
but-
so nice because these WWE guys with their mic skills, and Seth Rollins is one of the best in the business. They just speak so elegantly, right?
Yeah.
They say things that I know I could never put it that way, like off the top of my head, and they're just on another level. You know, they're the best, some of the best at what they do. And we've said it before, he's a future talk show host for sure.
He gets you excited.
He is. He's the official Bears hype man. And
Yeah.
you know,
That's his
also,
job.
I want to point out what an excellent crocheted sweater that is that he's
Don't
wearing.
tell my mom that.
Oh, well, I mean, we live in the desert, so we
No
have
sweater.
a lot of crocheted sweaters around from Nika's mom, actually, and she's done a nice job making them for us, and they come in handy in the evening when it's really like it's 120 degrees out, but you need the air conditioning on full blast, so you got to bundle up a little bit inside. It's weird, I know. Probably sounds weird, but anyways, fantastic sweater. Fantastic hype speech. I'm ready for this preseason game. I didn't even, care a day ago, but now I see this video. Let's go. I want to see Seth Rollins in a locker room, with the World Heavyweight title, giving the Bears. They do play SmackDown in Chicago the first Friday after Paris. And I believe that is going to be the same weekend as opening weekend in the NFL. So I hope maybe we can get a little Seth Rollins in reality with the Bears.
Oh, there might be some crossover that time.
Yeah, there might be.
Yeah.
So get hyped, everybody. Get hyped.
That's awesome.
In all serious note, and on a serious note, Seth Rollins' analysis here is spot on. The Bears did look sharper getting out of the huddle last week in their preseason game than in previous years. So even those little changes that you noticed as a longtime fan go a long way in seeing how, this team's going to feel refreshing this year. Well, we're excited. We'll get our first look at Caleb Williams this weekend, and we'll be back next week to talk about that.
That's a Sunday game?
Yes. And now we will finally have something to talk about. It might be Saturday. I didn't look at the schedule yet.
That's okay, but it's in this weekend.
This weekend, Caleb Williams will play against the Buffalo Bills, who are also the featured team on Hard Knocks this year. So we will probably watch next week's Hard Knocks episode because it will probably have some of the Bears, maybe not their players, but some of the behind the scenes of like how they went about preparing for the Bears. So it might be interesting in retrospect to see.